What's up, guys? All right. So before I begin, I'm going to give a little verse really quickly. If yeah, so here it is. Uh, I know this is pretty much okay. Fine, whatever. God demonstrated His love to us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. So that's something. I know that's something small. I have more. I usually forget. And also, I have this other one. I already said it before, but I'm going to say it again because it's one of my personal favorites. Is dear children, let us not love word or speeches, but love action and in truth. Christ is action. He demonstrated on the cross, and that is our truth. That's what we can rely on. And I think that's very important because as for me, I struggle with personal um, with depression and anxiety, and I don't want to I don't want to fall back into my temptations. I was at one point I was very low self esteem, and I fell really back into my old habits, which was frustrated all the time, angry all the time with the circumstances around me, and also I fell into porn. Corn. Gotta be careful with YouTube, and that was very hard for me to deal with. And now that I am free, this is what the faith requires. This is where faith is really pretty much all in. And I put everything in one basket, which is Jesus. And I'm struggling here because I am because the video I put out before will explain a little bit what I'm talking about, but just to dumb it down and make it I'll summarize, I guess. I'm currently in a circumstance, in a position where I never wanted to be in, and at this point, I feel like my life is done, over with, and unfortunately, that's not how life works. And I say unfortunately. Well, I should say fortunately, really, because the only exit strategy at that point would be self deleting, and that's obviously not what I'm looking for, and you shouldn't either. Um, you should be definitely looking for the better outcome, which is Jesus. And if Jesus freed me from my sins and saved me, I know I need to trust in Him, but I have to put in the work. Okay, faith is very important, but also the work is required, and you have to have faith in this. So currently, what I'm struggling is my anxiety. So I'm trying to I'm trying to do new things. Right, I'm reading a lot, studying a lot. That's cool and all. I'm trying to evangelize. That's great, but in the house, I still feel this attacks. So two things that I'm doing so far. I'm trying to learn languages. I'm trying to learn Spanish a lot more, and we'll see how that goes. As you can see, I am Latino, but I don't know much Spanish. So I'm trying to learn Spanish so I can learn how to articulate myself and also spread the gospel. That's the main reason. And the second thing I'm doing, which is I'm learning how to cook. So I'm also gonna do that. I'm doing fried chicken today. And yeah, I'm 27. I never know how to, you know what I mean? I never did cooking before, so this is my first time, and I'm really excited. This is my kitchen, by the way. I live downstairs, so this is my kitchen, and I'm trying to learn how to cook. I'm trying to learn new things so I can get out of this headspace. I'm trying to build in new habits and replace the old habits. I don't want to fall back into it. And now, the last thing that I'm not sure, but I'm trying to see if I can get back into my clothing again. But this time, I'm trying to do it the way I think I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think what I'm supposed to do is go for it, and also just do it for your pleasure. Don't think about anything else, right? So that is what I'm doing right now. So anyway, let's see what I'm cooking up right now. So I got the rice ready. My mom helped me out a lot. I called her. I told her. She was like, "All right, get this and that." So anyway, but for now, let's just get this. So for the chicken, I'll start with the chicken. Actually, I'll explain what I did. I got consomme. That's in Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't know how you say it, but boiled chicken. All right, so I got that. I also got mayonesa, which is mayonnaise, and then where is it? Put them in here. Let me grab them really quick. I got Goya garlic, and then garlic sauce, and then I also got Lee pepperines. I think it's a sauce. So basically, all of this ingredients come together. This is the last one you want to put in. My mom told me that I put 2 scoops of this. two spoons. There you go. And then it will, grab everything together, pretty much stick everything together, and then just, mix and max, right? Mix it. And that's exactly what I did. So now that I'm ready, I got my air fryer right there ready to go. And now I also have my prepared. So that's what I'm gonna do. And we'll see how that goes. I'm actually really excited, It's actually really interesting. So let me actually, should I leave it there? I don't know if this is a good spot. Like, I feel like it's gonna fall. Yeah, it's gonna fall. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I would love to show you a little bit, but I think I could do it here. Let me see. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Don't make fun of me. I'm learning. You know what? Make fun of me. I don't really care. I don't care. So anyway, I'm gonna do the air fryer, and then I'm gonna do the rice. So anyway, let's just do the air fryer real quick. So my mother said I can leave for like 20 minutes, but if I need to keep checking, obviously. So if it needs more, we do that. Okay. I hope you guys are doing really well. Again, I just want to remind you guys that there is a Father, there is a Lord that loves you, and I'm telling you, Jesus is the only way. I can't express how many times I have failed, and every time that I feel like, I feel gross, and I feel like I'm like, at my lowest, that's where He meets me. And again, I wish I can tell you more about that. Maybe one day I will. I'm trying to figure out how that I'm able to overcome, because it's not me, obviously, but also I am in part, I do partake in it, obviously, with my faith. But I guess I can give you some extra strategies on how I was able to overcome my my porn addiction, and also my bad thoughts. Trying new things, doing new things. That's another thing, right? So here we go. There it is. Pretty cool. Oops, don't want to drop that. So, all right. I didn't even check the air fryer is on, to be honest, if it works. It's been a minute since I used the air fryer. All right, you know what? I don't want to show my whole kitchen, so I'm going to leave it right there. I'm actually going to pause it and then... All right, so it's in the air fryer. I didn't show you that. Doesn't matter. I still have more chicken, so I'll probably put that at the end. Now, I cut these. I got tomatoes and I got onions. And I learned something pretty cool online. I'm not going to lie. I was like, yo, I feel like... If anybody ever watched The Bear... The Bear is one of my favorite shows. I stopped that third season, but I was just like cutting because I went online, I went on YouTube videos, tutorials, and they were like, oh, this is the best way to cut onions. So I'm like, what? I would cut onions, but I don't really care. But when I saw how he was cutting it, how great, I was like, I gotta do that. So I got my fancy knife here, and then I started cutting it, and then there you go. It actually came out really well. I'm actually really shocked. I felt in that moment I was in the show. You know what I mean? So anyway, by the way, this is a cup. I just poured it in here because I forgot to put these other ingredients. So there we go. And then just gotta do that. I think my mom said I gotta mix it. I'm not quite sure, but we're just gonna move it around. Not really sure, to be honest. We're learning, bros. We're learning. So I'm gonna show you really quickly. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. By the way, yes, I did wash my hands. Okay, I washed it many, many times. Alright, there we go. And then she told me to pour water. 2 cups of water. So, that's what I'm going to do right now. Bam. She says 2 tazas. 2 tazas. So, it's like 2 cups of water. So, we get more. Alright, let me actually put this down and flip the camera. There we go. So 2 tazas. Alright. Oh, there we go. I think that's a lot, to be honest with you. I don't know, but that's what she said, so I am listening what she told me, okay? So if this comes out bad, it's not my fault. Probably is, but either way. Alright, so it's all good now. I got it in the stove, and then I have it in an air fry. And yeah, so so that's what I'm currently doing today. I know this is my terrible. Look, this is my brother's machine. He runs all the time. I don't really run. I don't really do that. I'm pretty good. And then he has little mattress bed right there. So, because he sleeps downstairs. But anyway, what I was gonna tell you guys. Why am I learning how to cook? first off, I want to. That's one. I always have. I always felt timid. I always felt like that it was too complicated for me, and I didn't want to do it. That's what I always felt. But now that I'm getting older, and I'm learning that, one day my parents won't be here, and I would love to learn their recipes. My mom knows how to cook really well. I'm blessed to have my mom. She knows how to cook. And I really want to carry on my mother's recipes, and my grandma, both sides. My aunt owns a restaurant for my father's side, and she's an amazing cook too. So again, I got a lot of family who are really good cookers. And so I mainly want to do that. And also, I don't like to talk about these things, but you know what? I might as well. So, I grew up in a special ed system for a very long time, but I met my teacher there, and she was a Christian. I was always the one attached to her. I always saw her as my second mother, and she always looked out for me. She always looked out for the best. So I loved her. I love her still. And she, to this day, we still talk. And she invites me to her house and stuff like that. And there was one time last year I went over for the holidays, and I just, it was amazing. His husband, I know his husband too. Very close with him. That's my dogs. Probably somebody came. And there was he was cooking. He was cooking for her. And while she was taking care of something, and then, she told him not to worry. And then they would cook together. And then, but then she had to go do something, sit. And the hospitality was amazing. And then they sat me down. He sat, he set up the table. He put the knife, the fork, everything down. He was ready. And then he wouldn't eat until his wife was there. And when he sat, I was like, wow, this is it. This is life. This is what ultimately a good life is. I finally understood, I want that, but I was still kind of in conflict with myself, because I felt like I didn't deserve love, and I also felt like I don't know if I want that, because I don't know what that is, but when I saw it in person, I just wow, this is a whole different, mind you, I live in a family traditional Hispanic home where the dad goes out to work all the time and comes back super late, and the meal's on the table. So that was the perspective of what I was growing up to be. It was rare that my dad had cooked, but he knows. But when because he was raised by my grandma, which is his mom, obviously. But when I was there, I just saw that, and I was like, wow. And I asked him, I saw the smile on his face, so I asked him a question, and she wasn't there. I'm like, does it feel good to cook for your wife? He was like, it's the best feeling. It is the best feeling in the world to do that, And I'm like, wow, I want that, But now I'm still unsure. But anyway, So it's cool to learn, and I want to learn. And I guess the language stuff, I want to learn more languages. Not only just Spanish, but mainly Spanish, because not only preach the gospel, but also my family are Hispanic. And, there was some point where I'm not gonna lie, I was very no, I don't want to learn it. I want to learn I already know English. I don't really want to learn Spanish, because I was bullied a lot when I was a kid, by Hispanics, because they learn Spanish, and I always felt like I was left out. So I was like, screw it, I don't care. I'll learn English. I don't care. So that was my mentality as a kid. But obviously, I fell out a lot. But I did learn Spanish, not the way of in school, but I mind you, I worked in my dad's business since I was a child, since I was 7. So I met a lot of Hispanics, from all over the world, like Hondurans, Chapines. Chapines are Guatemalans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, what else? Ecuadorians, not Venezuelans, not as much. But I have learned many dialects, and also picked up a lot. So I was able to pronounce words, I was able to understand what words are, and unfortunately, I learned a lot of curse words. And I don't know them. That's crazy, because they curse in every sentence, and I don't even know that's a curse word. So when I'm speaking, I don't know if that's actually a curse word. I remember one time someone came up to me, you can't say that. I'm like, what did I say? He was like, that's a curse word. I didn't know. So that's another thing about Spanish. So many words. But but yeah, I really want to learn. So that's another thing. But I guess this learning thing comes out of that I'm hungry to. I'm getting closer, and I realize my relationship with Jesus has become a lot. Like it's becoming the center of my life, which I finally understood. For a very long time, I never do this. Maybe this is like, come on, Josh, like you didn't know that. Not me, but I never put Jesus in my center of my life. I always put him outside, and it was cool. It was more like I opened a door. I'm like, all right, guy, you can come in and help me out. But then every time he was done, all right, I pushed him out. All right, close the door. That was kind of my relationship with God, especially the way I read the Bible. When I read the Bible, it was always because I wanted to learn something for that day, and then that's it. Or sometimes when I got older, I wanted to learn debates, apologetics. But I ended up growing out of that because I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's nothing wrong, but I just saying debates. It just feels like, for me personally, it's just not enough for me to keep going, And it's nothing against people who debate. Trust me, I've seen many, and I learned a lot from many. So I take a lot of I guess like inspiration from them. But it's something about it where it's like there's ways where you can operate it. I've seen many people who just go after and attacks. There's no love into it. So that's why for me it was hard. And then again, like, when I finally put Jesus in my center in my life, when I finally was broken down to the point and had nothing left, only literally my heart, and I gave it to him, and I finally understood what it means to be loved by God, to be in that place, knowing that he took all of these things from me, and all he wants is my heart. So I gave that over, and I put him in the center, and now when I open the Bible, I start tearing, literally, and that never happened to me before. I'm very cold. I don't like, crying, because I feel that, and I also see it that this is my father's, this is the work of my dad, literally, that's how I see it, and he wants me to open this and learn from him, and learn more about him. That's why I have a better relationship with my father, my physical father, right, my biological father. But I have a better relationship with my Lord, and that's only because of Jesus. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna cut from here, and hopefully all of this are done, and then we can eat. All right, it's not the best, but my first one is not that bad. Here, so there it is. So not that bad, pretty good. It was a little burnt right there. So you can see, especially there. But either way, when I am happy about, the rice came out really good. Look at that. Amazing. So I'm going to put that. It's my final video. It's my way to sign out. And I'm going to eat something that I actually cooked, which is actually interesting. Because I never did that before. So anyway, yeah. And I have to, yeah, I felt pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I actually feel a lot more, less, I'm not stressing as I used to. I don't have anything, it helped me a lot. And I think it's because of the fact that I was able to do something new, first off. And I obviously had help. And I did it. So that actually helped a lot. That in itself is like a reward, So it's again with faith. We have to put ourselves in positions where it's uncomfortable, and it's like, yeah, you need patience. You want patience. You want you want to feel good. God's gonna put you in uncomfortable places where you have to grow in that area. And it's just the way of life. I believe that very, very solely, and I'm learning something I'm uncomfortable with. I'm trying to deal with it. And I'm learning a new habit so I can replace my old habit, and get out of my headspace. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm really happy about that, and hopefully I'll learn something. My brother came down. He was like, man, you're 27. You know how to cook, man. That's sad. I was like, wow. It's like, great. But I love my little brother either way. He knows how to cook. So I told him, man, if I get better at this, I swear, bro, we're going to have a cook-off. I'm going to whoop your ass. But anyway, man, that's pretty much it, and that's all I'm gonna say. And thank you for tuning in, and we'll keep continuing. I'll see what I can do. Anyway, bye. I didn't do the taste test. Okay, this is chicken. Tastes really good. Wow, not bad. Now, here's the rice. I'm gonna take it right now. It's pretty hot, but I mean, regular rice, so nothing crazy. But anyway, that's it. Tastes really good. Pretty proud of it. So, anyway, bye.